True. Thanks to your donations, we made that happen.
Let's spread joy this Eid by giving gifts to orphans. Your donation can make a child's dream come true.
Sayyid, you ate before the adhan? Do you know if your fast was valid? Brother, you love tattoos, don't you? Is tattoos haram or halal? Uncle, you don't know if it's the third or the last rak'ah? Not sure if you need to repeat it? Abu Talib, it's pork flavor but vegetarian. Is it halal? Sayyid Muhsin, your yearly khums is here again? You don't know how to calculate it, do you?
Don't worry, you're not alone. And I'm sure you guys... Take off the Ahkam, please. And I'm sure you guys have questions here as well. Get the answers you need here on Ahkam SOS, where your Islamic questions and queries get clear and precise answers. Stay tuned for Ahkam SOS exclusively on Imam Hussein TV 3.
Abu Talib, why are we here?
It's simple. Let's take these 7 steps and see where it takes us. Wow, we're some nice clean shadish.
Yeah, one step closer. Let's take another step closer. Hopefully we won't have another outfit change.
Hope not. Have we started? Are we live?
Not yet.
Assalamu alaikum and welcome to 7 Steps to Heaven. What's your name and where are you calling from?
And are you ready to take on 7 questions to be on your way to Karbala?
ينعاد عليكي ينعاد عليكي الله معاك
مع السلامة.
نحن مقاومة انت في خطر ما لازم تضيعي
ما تخافي يا بنتي.
كيف حالك؟
Are you in court for raping English girls? Remember? You're here defending the paedophile. I'm here defending your dad. These women are here defending the paedophile. You're here defending...
We don't need a TV channel because we've got mosques.
We have Islamic centres that are always open.
We have schools teaching Islam.
Hijab is part of a school uniform.
Islam has come and it's established here in the West.
And everyone's happy.
They love us, our food, our fashion.
Our culture.
The media is always on our side.
We've got plenty of English speakers, plenty of English books.
And plenty of places to go and learn in the English language.
Let's be real.
Let's get active. Be more involved.
www.imamhussein3.tv
brothers and sisters, I'm here for a very urgent but very exciting new project from Imam Hussein TV. As you are aware, Imam Hussein TV is in Northwest London, a very, very small studio. We're actually renting the area, the offices and so forth. But we have a brand new opportunity here in West London. There's a brand new building up for sale, and Imam Hussein TV needs your help to secure that building. So for all those who help, number one, you're going to help Imam Hussein TV move to a brand new location. Number two, you're going to help set up a brand new studio, control room. You're going to be part of our team to help bring brand new programs and broadcasting for you guys to spread the message of Imam Hussein TV. Anybody who watches these programs on Imam Hussein TV, whether it is a program on Ahkam, Akhlaq, Tariq, Quran, Shia Voice, any program that you watch and you've donated towards Imam Hussein TV, you're going to get the ajr. Every view, you're going to get the thawab. And the thing is, our programs are watched every day by millions and millions of people. Loads of people watch our TV show and they're learning the message of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, the message and lessons of the Ahlul Bayt. And you guys are going to be behind that, helping spread the message of the Ahlul Bayt. By, looking on the lower third there below, it will tell you how to get in contact with us, whether it is phone number, email, or even just sharing. You guys need to get involved, help us secure this brand new building so that we can continue to spread the message of Imam Hussein, inshallah, to all the corners of the earth, and we'll make sure that we have one massive global Husseiniya.
From hard-hitting, insightful discussions
because when I come to the hadith, I look
to shows for the whole family.
Welcome to 7 Steps to
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How are you all doing? Inshallah, you are all well. Welcome back to another episode of Ahkam SOS, the show where we discuss various Islamic topics, practices, and principles. I'm your host, Sayyid Muthanna al-Musawi, and I am joined by none other than Sheikh Ali. Ma'ash, salam alaikum, Sheikhna.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh.
How are you doing, Sheikh?
Alhamdulillah, fine.
Alhamdulillah. It's great to be here, back again.
Welcome.
Opposite you, of course. I missed the previous episode. Sayyid Hussein took my place. Inshallah, he learnt many things. I was watching from home. Managed to learn as much as possible as well. But inshallah, in this episode again, I can learn as much as possible. And inshallah, all of you at home can learn as much as possible as well. And to learn, all you need to do is send in your questions. To send in, all you need to do is either, when the numbers show up, scan the QR code, of course, or call in with the number shown below. Over here, 0203 515 0199, or send in your WhatsApp messages, send in your questions here on WhatsApp, 074 1509 2155, or scan the QR code, or if you're watching on YouTube, you can send in your questions there. And inshallah, Shaykhna, without further ado, let us begin with the questions. From YouTube, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My first question is about salah. In sujood, is there a specific place we should put our hands in line with forehead, chin, shoulders?
أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على محمد وآله الطاهرين ولعنة الله على أعدائهم أجمعين. In sujood, you place both hands on the floor, parallel with your position of the prostration and more, and you recite the normal dhikr for the sujood. Subhana Rabbiya al-A'la wa bihamdih, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad, or Subhanallah, 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 and with the dhikr of salawat ala Muhammad as well.
Okay, thank you very much, Shaykhna. And then from YouTube, my question is, tell me that was, sorry, the question is a bit worded weirdly. From YouTube, my question is, please tell me, was the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, a Shi'i man?
You see, Islam is a collection of beliefs. So you start with Tawheedullah Azza wa Jal, and then the Adlullah, Allah's justiceness, and then you go towards the belief in the prophets of Allah, all of the prophets from Adam to Khatam, alayhim salam, and then the belief in the Imam of Ahlul Bayt, salamullah alayhim, and then the Day of Judgment as well. So it's a collection of aqa'id and beliefs. So the Holy Prophet himself, we just passed a couple of days from the Ghadir event, when he said, "Man kuntu mawlah fa Ali mawlah." He appointed Imam Ali as his vicegerent and wazir and khalifa. So the Holy Prophet is the master of this religion, and he's the establisher of the Shia, Ali and his Shia, as he said in the Sunni source, هذا وشيعتهم الفائزون يوم القيامة. He and his followers are the winners on the Day of Judgment. I mentioned once from Sunni source that the Prophet mentioned, he pointed towards Ali alayhi salam, that he and his Shia are the followers. His followers are the winners on the Day of Judgment. Okay. So it was the Prophet who established this Shia which belongs to Islam. It's all one entity. You cannot separate Tashayyu' from Islam at all. Okay. It's going to be incomplete Islam. It's like you separate Quran from Rasulullah and Tawheedullah Azza wa Jal. It's incomplete Islam. It's rejected. So it's all a combination and attachments of beliefs. Without imamah, you haven't have a complete Islam.
Okay.
It's an unacceptable full Islam. It's partial. Just the shahadatain, then you're a Muslim, you're tahir, and so forth. Your zabiha is halal, and so forth. Otherwise, without imamat Ahlul Bayt, it's incomplete. That's why the Prophet had to go between Mecca and Medina and to appoint Ali as his vicegerent and khalifa. And that's what the ayah was revealed. اليوم أكملت لكم دينكم. Today I accomplished your religion with the sign of Ali alayhi salam as his khalifa. Because nobody would leave his work, leave his place without appointing somebody. Imagine that a manager or even a president today, you always have vice president. Yes. Always, you have to have. It's part of the law, part of the legislation that you cannot leave the country without a vice president or leader. So the ummah cannot be left alone, Ummat Rasulullah, without Khalifa. And what happened afterwards, taking over the Khilafah, was absolutely against Rasulullah's Sunnah and tradition and the way of the Quran, of course.
Yeah, thank you very much, Shaykhna. Moving on from YouTube, why does Shia chain of narration longer than Sunnis?
I'm not sure about the difference. I've read, we have chain narrators, but to be longer or shorter, I'm not sure about it.
Okay, understood.
I've noticed now.
Okay. And then from YouTube, what should I do if I take an involuntary breath during a word in Salah and the word doesn't fully come out? Do I repeat the word from the beginning or do I just carry on?
Yeah, if you make a mistake, then just repeat again.
Mm-hmm. Just repeat the
word,
okay.
the ayah or the dhikr.
Okay.
Again.
Okay, understood. Thank you very much, Shaykhna. And to all our viewers, just a quick reminder, we are now roughly 10 minutes into our episode. So for those that are just signing on now and watching and just that have just joined us now, do make sure to send in your questions, and inshallah together we can learn as much as possible and get closer to the Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. To send in your questions, all you need to do is either call in with the number shown below over here, 0203 515 0199, or send in your questions with the WhatsApp number over here, 0741 509 2155, or scan the QR code. Or if you're watching on YouTube, you can send in your questions there. And inshallah together, as I have said, we can learn as much as possible. Carrying on with the questions, Shaykhna. From YouTube, this person asked 3 questions. This is his final questions, is about using surahs that involve a mandatory sajda. I hold on to the surah that I have memorized by recitation in salah, but I'm unsure of what to do when obligatory sajda is included.
You're not allowed to recite the obligatory sajda inside your salah.
Okay.
So you have to avoid it, yes. You're not allowed to recite this verse, which requires an obligation of prostration when you recite this the surah or the verses of the sajda. So you have to avoid it. In salah, you have to, by the way, recite full surah and not part of the surah.
Okay.
Unlike Ahlul Sunnah that they can recite few verses of a surah and then continue the salah. Now we have
the whole
surah should be recited in the salah.
Okay, understood.
So that's
Thank you.
another mas'ala.
Another thing. Okay, thank you very much. The more you learn, I guess. Thank you very much, Shaykhna. And then from YouTube, Assalamu alaikum. How come I am Barghaz in the West will almost never mention men's rights in Islam or what men Islamically can do ever? Don't you think if you enforce the rule of parda for men and women?
The question is not clear. So what's
It's
parda?
it's a weird question.
Yeah.
If you can please rewrite the question, and inshallah we will be able to answer it for you. And inshallah other people can also send in their questions, and inshallah together we can learn as much as possible, get closer to the Ahlul Bayt, get closer to our deen, to our faith, to our religion, and to become part of Shi'at Amir al-Mu'mineen. To send in your questions, all you need to do is either call in with the number shown below over here, 0203 515 0199, or send in your questions with the WhatsApp number over here, 0741 509 2155, or for a quick shortcut, scan the QR code here, or if you would like, send in your questions in the YouTube comment section, and inshallah in all three scenarios, the Sheikh will be here to answer your questions. From WhatsApp, what are the different ways that someone can become a shaheed or earn the rewards of a shaheed?
Indeed, the famous narration that which says, "Man mata ala hubbi ali Muhammad mata shahida." The one who dies with the love and of course believing in the Imam of Ali Muhammad, salamullah alayhim, he would die as a martyr. So this is how you can get the reward of a martyr, by dying on the path of Muhammad Ali Muhammad salamullah alayhim, to believe in them as, after Rasulullah, the khulafa, the imams of Ahlul Bayt salamullah alayhim. So this is the best way, of course.
Okay, understood. Thank you very much, Shaykhna. And then also from WhatsApp, Assalamu alaikum. What are the different traditions that need to happen during a wedding?
In terms of weddings, of course, one of the main ones is to feed. I know there are 5 aspects mentioned about feeding. One who buys a house, or the one who comes back from Hajj, I think. And one of them is the marriage. So when there's a marriage, make sure that you feed people. It has a part of this narration, and of course, the reward of feeding, وَإِطْعَامُ الطَّعَامِ, in the narrations that has a great reward, that one feeds people. So it's important to feed people with this regard.
Okay, understood. Thank you very much. I'll take that as a note.
Sure.
And then from YouTube, Assalamu alaikum. How come in Imam Barghaz in the West will almost never mention men's rights in Islam ever, or enforce the rule of parda for men and women?
You see, in overall, the Holy Quran states that if you ask something, then ask behind the curtain or behind the hijab. فَاسْأَلُونَ مِنْ وَرَاءِ حِجَابٍ. And the Quran gives the reason for that. ذَلِكَ أَطْهَرُ لِقُلُوبِكُمْ وَقُلُوبِهِمْ. That this is better for you, for the well-being of your hearts and their hearts. In other words, the well-being in terms of spiritually. To keep the hearts clean from the bad look is those who might look with bad intention. So that curtain, that hijab would protect the society from any kind of bad intentions, corruptions, and so forth. So it's something that is encouraged, that mixing would otherwise cause other issues.
Okay, understood. Thank you very much, Shaykhna. And then from WhatsApp, a 3-part question. The first question being, is it allowed to wear printed hijabs or abayas?
As long as it doesn't reveal the beauty, in terms of the وَلَا يُبْدِينَ زِينَتَهُنَّ, doesn't show the beauty, then that's fine. So it depends. The Urf should say if it's a beauty or not beauty. So again, depends.
Okay, thank you very much. And inshallah now we will be going on a break. But before that, I believe the Sheikh has something that he would like to say to us.
Yes, in such difficult moments now, there's a war zone, battle zone, we have to observe patience and pray to Allah Azza wa Jal, invoke Allah, and of course try to help the mu'mineen and mu'minat who are in desperate situation, in difficulty, the way we can help. So it's a difficult moment. Muharram is coming, so lots of people have lost their lives in the past days, kids, children, again. So we have to pray to Allah Azza wa Jal to repel this evil, this difficulty, this anxiety, this calamity from the Ummah of Muhammad wa Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa.
Thank you very much, Sheikhna, for the kind words. And to our dear viewers at home, as I've just said, we will now be going on a break. Inshallah, you do send in your questions during the break, and inshallah, together we can learn as much as possible, and see you after the break.
I have a question regarding keeping pictures of scholars. Is it permissible to plant trees by or over
Islam
the
established based on peace and non-violence? Is it permissible to collect donations for charity projects from
Is it permitted to consume canned food imported from non-Muslim countries?
Is there an issue for men looking at non-Muslim women?
To have your questions answered live, WhatsApp us on +44 7415 092155.
For those interested in an Islamic law book by Ayatollah Sayyid Sadiq Al-Shirazi, please WhatsApp the Ahkam SOS team at the following number to place your order today: +44 7415 092155. The Islamic law book, available exclusively in hard copy, contains religious questions answered by Grand Ayatollah Sayyid Sadiq Al-Shirazi. Order your hard copy today.
Assalamu alaikum, welcome back after the break to Ahkam SOS, the show where we discuss various Islamic topics, practices and principles. I hope that during the break you managed to send in your questions. If you have not yet done so, do send them in now before it is too late and you will have to wait till next week's episode. Carrying on with the questions, Sheikhna, as we previously mentioned, that wearing printed hijabs and abayas. The next question is, can we wear hijabs and abayas that have decorative stones or diamantes on them?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Again, the same issue. If it is revealing and showing beauty, the Quran says, وَلَا يُبْدِينَ زِينَتَهُنَّ, do not show your beauty or the beauty. So that's an issue. So you have to make sure that nothing would be attractive, even if the hijab was in somehow attractive hijab would be an issue. Especially those sparkling and shining. So one should be careful with this type of hijab. Sometimes even the hijab attracts a beautiful hijab, shining and so one should be careful.
Okay. And they have a third question I just want to ask you. Of course, I think it's going to be a similar answer. Their third question is, can we wear different colors of hijabs and abayas?
As long as it doesn't reveal the beauty, in other words, wouldn't be attractive, it should be fine. We have, I think, some of sisters and ladies in Afghanistan, I think Sudan, other parts of the world, that they wear different colors, maybe blue, yellow, which is very normal when we see them, it's something normal. As long as it's loose enough, it doesn't show the curves of the body, and that color doesn't attract, it should be fine.
Okay, understood. Thank you very much, Sheikhna. And then from WhatsApp, Salaam alaikum, Sheikh.
Salam.
Briefly describe what happened in the Battle of Khaybar, and please also mention the purpose of this battle.
We need more time, a whole episode for that.
Okay.
To speak about this battle. Of course, there is an introduction to this event. Why did this battle took place? That there was a treaty between the Muslims and the Ahlul Kitab, and they broke this treaty by killing some Muslims. Eventually, the Prophet had to take his companions and go towards the Khaybar, that castle, and of course he called anyone who can go and forward and to open the gates of Khaybar and take over, but of course nobody was able to go, and they all were fearful. Many of them went and they came back, but of course it was on the hands of Imam Ali alayhi salam that he took off the gate of the Khaybar, and the Muslims were able to go inside and take over and win the battle. So again, the star of the show was Imam Ali, Amir al-Mu'mineen Salamullah alayhi, again and again. Badr, Khaybar, Hunayn, Uhud, it's all in the hands of Imam Ali alayhi salam, in which he sacrificed himself, without any fear. In some narrations that he used to jog towards, jogging, like running towards the enemy, to sacrifice himself for the cause of Islam, for the cause of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Okay, thank you very much, Sheikhna. And then from WhatsApp, we have quite a long question, so please do bear with me. Salaam alaikum. My older brother started having atheist ideology. First in years, he stopped praying, stopped going to the mosque and doing any kind of religious practices or paying his religious dues. He changed his name from a beautiful Islamic name to American name. He doesn't seem to listen or care about the advices of mine or what my mum give him. Right now he's mocking the religion and the verses of the Holy Quran about the marājiʿ, or believing our beloved Imam Mahdi, Ajallallahu Farajahu Sharif, that he's still with us and alive. Any kind of religious subject whenever we start talking about. Should I keep my distance from him or cut ties from him? And if I do that, would I lose my sillatil raham? And I just can't see or keep my patience for disrespecting the religion, the Holy Quran, or the Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam.
No, make sure that you keep in touch with him. Number one, Salatul Rahim. Number two, for guiding him. So there are two issues important that you have to keep on talking to him, contacting him. Let's say in some of the occasions, celebrations, you would give him, let's say, gifts. Visit him, for example. Invite him to your house, for example, for a dinner, for a meal. And then slowly try to convince him somehow. It's difficult, it's going to be a long journey.
Yeah.
It could take a couple of years, but inshallah, Allah Azza wa Jalla would guide this individual. Otherwise, وَمَا عَلَى الرَّسُولِ إِلَّا الْبَلَاغُ الْمُبِينُ. The duty of the Prophet was to advise and admonish people, whether they accept it or they don't accept it. Many of the people became munafiq within the Prophet's companions. إِذَا جَاءَكَ الْمُنَافِقُونَ, the famous Munafiqun surah. So, you do your best. Whether they accept or they reject, it's their decision. They have the free will to accept or reject. But you do your best, and may Allah Azza wa Jalla reward you for this jihad, in other words.
Inshallah. Thank you very much, Sheikhna. And Sheikhna, I believe we now have a phone call. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. How are you, brother?
Assalamu alaikum. It seems that we are having some technical difficulties. Let's go back to a question and then we'll come back to the phone call. Sheikhna, from WhatsApp, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Is there anything stopping someone from having their wedding day or any kind of celebration on a day such as Ghadir or any other Eids?
So they can have, in other words, the celebrations. I think it's a great opportunity for the one to have his wedding on these blessed occasions. Of course, it shouldn't cover up on the main occasion. So if it's Ghadir, make sure that you celebrate Ghadir as Eid Ghadir, and plus the wedding, either the same day or Monday before or after. But make sure that you don't neglect the Eid Ghadir itself. So yes, you can have both happiness and happy and joyful occasions to be revived, in other words, and established.
Okay, understood. Thank you very much, Sheikhna. And we've managed to get our caller back now. Let's see what they have to say. Assalamu alaikum.
How are you, brother?
Alhamdulillah. How are you, dear brother?
I'm fine.
I'm fine. That's great to hear. You have a question for the Sheikh, yes?
Yes, my question is regarding eating rabbits. If it's Islam eats rabbit, if it's yes or not, is there anything happening about this?
Okay, I didn't quite understand what you said completely. All I heard was about eating rabbits. The Sheikh seems to have an answer already. Sheikhna?
Yes, eating rabbit in the fiqh of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam, and the fiqh of the Ja'fari, salamullah alayhim ajma'in, it is forbidden. We cannot consume rabbit at all.
Okay.
Yes, that's forbidden.
That's completely forbidden. Okay. Yeah. Okay, great. Thank you very much, Sheikh. Now, I hope that answers your question. If you do have any further questions, please do call in once again and ask. And inshallah, the Sheikh will be here to answer your question. I'm not entirely sure on how the Sheikh managed to understand. I barely understood what you were saying. Moving on. To all our dear viewers at home, as you have just seen, our dear brother called in, got his questions answered live straight away. So if you would like the same thing to happen to you, please call in with the number shown below over here, 0203 515 0199, or send in your questions with the WhatsApp number over here, 0741 509 2155, or scan the QR code, or if you're watching on YouTube, you can send in your questions there. And it seems we have another caller. Let's see what they have to say. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
How are you doing there, brother? You okay?
Alhamdulillah, how are you? And how is the respected Sheikh? Inshallah, you guys are all well.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, we are all well. I can speak for the Sheikh and I can speak for everyone in the office. We're all well, alhamdulillah. You have a question for the Sheikh?
Yes, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's completely fine. Ask away.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Ahlan wa sahlan.
Sheikhna, my question is concerned the hukum of if somebody has a doubt if or if not they entered the state of impurity. Many individuals might experience something where they might, for example, not know if they had a wet dream or if
it's clear.
Concerning that. We know with other stuff, you have to have 100% itminan for to consider something najis. So in that case, when somebody doesn't know if they did that or if they didn't, do they have to observe the ahwat and go and maybe observe those ahkam, or does he just go on?
Interesting.
Inshallah.
Interesting.
Brother, you see, there are signs for the one who wants to define if he has or he is in a state of specific situation where he needs to purify himself as a ghusl wajib. So there are signs for it. In other words, you have to check. There's a pre-issues that happens. If somebody is in that state, in that feeling, then they can easily define that they are in that situation. As he said, wet dream, for example. And of course, if there's a wetness on his clothes, then of course that would be also a sign.
Yeah.
But pre that, there are issues that one should check. So it's not just somebody wakes up and he thinks, am I in that situation? Oh no. When he observes these things, then collectively, then one can define that he is in that state. Otherwise, no.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Sometimes one does waswasa, obsessiveness. One should avoid it.
Okay. Avoid it.
Yeah.
Okay, understood. Thank you very much, Sheikhna. And thank you very much to our dear brother for calling in and asking his question. Alhamdulillah, we all managed to learn something today. Please do send in your questions. Call in once again if you do have any further questions, or to any of our other viewers. I also would like to give you the option to call in with the number shown below over here, 0203 515 0199, or scan the QR code, or you can enter in the number yourself, 0741 509 2155, or watch on YouTube and send in your questions in the comment section. Carrying on with the questions, Sheikhna, from WhatsApp. Please, can you explain the hadith which says the Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam are Asma Allah al-Husna, and the other hadith that Allah is the creator of the Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam, and the Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam are servers of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, except that there is no difference?
You see, we have three things in the Holy Quran. We have tafsir, ta'wil, and tanzil. Sha'n al-nuzul. So you have to differentiate between the tafsir of the Quran and the ta'wil of the Quran. The ta'wil is secret, nobody knows about it except Ahlul Bayt salam themselves. Tafsir, we saw ulama, they have different opinions about the meanings of this verse, what does it mean, They go back to the history of Islam, for example. Sha'n al-Nuzul, again, why was this verse was revealed. There's a story behind it, for example. But the ta'wil is specifically by the Ma'soom alayhi salam. So when such narrations are mentioned that they are Asma'ullah al-Husna, of course, this is something goes back to the Ahl Bayt ta'wil. That because Asma'ullah al-Husna is very clear. These are the names, attributes of Allah Azza wa Jal. So, but when it says that on the narrations that these are names of Ahl Bayt belongs to Ahl Bayt alayhim salam, like for example Adam alayhi salam, he gained these names, ya Fatir بحق فاطمة, ya قديم الإحسان بحق الحسين, all these names. So the قديم الإحسان is to Imam Hussein alayhi salam, Fatir, Fatima alayhi salam, and other names. So these are, we find these through the Ahl Bayt narrations. We cannot define them ourselves or as a alim in tafsir. So the secret meanings, the butun of the Quran, as they say, is by Ahl Bayt salamullah alayhim. That's why وَمَنْ عِنْدَهُ عِلْمُ الْكِتَابِ, the one who has the knowledge of the Quran, they are Muhammad Ali Muhammad salamullah alayhim. They know exactly what is inside out of the Holy Quran. So we have to go back to them to define the meanings. Otherwise one cannot say, I think this ayah means such and such. Without this deep knowledge, we can't reach to the true meanings of the Holy Quran. Tafsir is yes, it's, the i'rab of the Quran, the story behind it should be fine. It's there here and there. Even Ahl Sunnah they have their own tafsir. But to know the true meanings of the Holy Quran, you have to go back to the ta'wil of Ahl Bayt alayhim salam.
Understood. Thank you very much, Sheikhna. And then from WhatsApp, what can someone do that does not feel the effect of tawbah anymore? How can he stay hopeful?
Hopeful by stopping the acts of sins and implementing the obligatory acts. In this way you can have hope in Allah Azza wa Jal, where you prevent the evil acts and you implement the good acts or the wajib acts and prevent the haram acts. In this case you can feel happiness, the happiness or the joyfulness of the iman and faith in your heart. And live normally like other people, but implement these rulings.
Understood. Thank you very much, Sheikhna. And then for our final two questions of the episode from WhatsApp, when does Muharram officially begin according to Grand Ayatollah Sayyid Ali Sistani and Grand Ayatollah Sayyid Sadiq Shirazi?
It seems to be that next Thursday night would be the first night of Muharram, according to some of the calendars. 90%, let's say. But again, we have to see the moon sighting. If they didn't see it on Thursday night, then it's Friday night, the first. But 90% is the first night would be, inshallah, on next Thursday night. So today is Thursday?
Yes.
Next Thursday, inshallah, night. Should be the first night.
And then from YouTube, Assalamu alaikum. Is it compulsory to prostrate when reading the verses in the Quran in English that usually require prostration in Arabic?
The prostration is when you recite the Arabic version. In English, I haven't seen any fatwa with this regard, but the wajib is when you recite the Arabic version of the sajda surah, the wajib sajda, of course.
Okay, understood. And then just for our final question, we do apologize to everyone at home if we did not manage to answer your questions. Please do send in your questions on our next episode. And then from YouTube, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala challenged humans and jinns that they will not be able to go out of Earth's sky in Al-Rahman chapter. Is moon or other close planets around the Earth considered part of the Earth's sky?
I think somewhere is mentioned إِلَّا بِسُلْطَان. It means except with a means. So you cannot reach the sky or the higher than that except with sultan. إِلَّا بِسُلْطَان. I think somewhere is mentioned with means. So that means that we need to get it. I don't know if it's the rockets or the spaceships. Something is mentioned within this line.
Okay, understood. Thank you very much, Sheikhna. And thank you very much, Sheikhna, for being with us today and answering all the questions. To all our dear viewers at home, we do apologize if we did not manage to answer your questions. Please do send in your questions on our next episode, and inshallah we will be here to answer them. Just a couple of things that I'd like to let you know before we do end off this episode. Below over here, you will be able to see our YouTube channel at Imam Hussein TV 3, which is where you can subscribe to our YouTube and watch many different shows that we will be having coming out, especially during the month of Muharram. Also follow us on our social media at Ahkam SOS for all exclusive content. Also below a link to our website www.imamhussein3.tv/donate, which is where you can support the Imam Hussein TV 3 today. With your donations, you can help us in acquiring a new building using this link below, www.ihtv.co/HQ, which is where you can support the Zainabiyya complex, which is a brand new building we are trying to acquire. And then also below for the final link that I will be telling you, www.imamhussein3.tv/survey, which is where you can show your support and you can give your advice. Any notes that you would like to give us using this survey would be much appreciated, and it would be a massive help to us all for your feedback. This has been Ahkam SOS on Imam Hussein TV 3. I've been your host, Sayyid Muthanna Al-Musawi. Fi amanillah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يوم ترى المؤمنين والمؤمنات يسعى نورهم بين أيديهم وبأيديهم